today, but just want to cover off a few things. So recording now, excellent. Again, the topics at hand are usually what we have in the Notion site. So under community call topics, we have a little panel there. If you don't know about it, you can drop in if you want to schedule anything. We can drop it in there, and of course, we can always add things on the call as well. But I got 4 things to talk about, and the IRL event is one of them. But the first thing I do want to talk about first is just the event review for last week. We had our DeFi safety event last week, and unfortunately, we had a lot of technical issues, right? So first and foremost, I was not happy with that event because we had like 2 crashes where the actual meeting software basically went down, right? So as soon as Nick tried to share anything, it crashed the actual app, kicked everyone out, and people were not able to get back in. So it was a very frustrating event personally, and I'm sure you guys probably felt the same way. So we're not going to use that. I'm making the call not to use that meeting app anymore, Huddle, even though they're a Web3 app and they're growing quick and they're getting some good partnerships out there in the space until it gets out of I don't think it's even beta right now. I would call it alpha something. I don't think is worth the risk of using a non-tested platform like that for events. It's just not worth the risk. So I'll open up to you guys in terms of what you thought about the event and any comments you had around that last event.
Yeah, sure. Despite the technical issues, Tony here. Despite the technical issues, I thought it was great. I mean, what they're doing is pretty cool because it gives another tool to assess. I mean, it's not gonna, nothing's 100%, of course. In crypto, right? They're not auditing code. They're not seeing if there's an actual flaw in the code or anything. But they're at least assessing projects at a macro level to say, hey, first of all, are these people visible and real? Which is a big deal. Mm-hmm. And then they're seeing, have they done some serious work behind it? Have they done some audits and things? So yeah, it's nice to see.
Plus, they're also they're local. Yeah, quite Marius.
Yeah, I totally concur with Tony. I enjoyed it a lot, and also the chat after the official presentation. Let me put it this way. Our questions and the way you replied to it was very insightful. So yeah, I enjoyed it a lot.
Cool. Yeah, so I was able to to paste together and stitch together the replays. So it looks like it's fairly seamless, but clearly for the folks who were there, we had a lot of folks who dropped off and weren't able to log back in and had too many difficulties. So overall I thought the content was okay. But yeah, for me it was just the context of it. The space, the meeting space was disrupted too many times, and for me, just as the organizer, just kind of it obviously takes away from the shine of the event. But yeah, I really like what the DeFi guys are doing there. DeFi safety guys, I mean, and it's great that they're local. I think they reached out in the past about perhaps doing more things together. So maybe that means actually going to their offices. They're always inviting us to come over. So maybe there's an opportunity to partner up with them further and do more events together, or maybe co-host something at their space. So that's a great relationship to have, because I think they got an interesting thing going on there, right? I think that we need more people more teams like that in the space who are doing some of the heavy lifting. Because the reality is that most people, when they speculate, they know they're supposed to be doing some of this stuff, but of course, who's actually going to do it, right? So having a team that's willing to do it, if they're trustworthy, then yeah, it's not a bad thing. And then, we can direct them that way, because I think they're doing good work there. I like your background, Tony, and that looks good now.
Yeah, no, that's it. It's my usual background. I try and pull up.
Yeah, you're set up now. Looks good now.
Yeah. I've used RingSafe Pro before, so it's not a bad platform.
Yeah, and it's free. So, that's the best part.
That's good. That's always good.
Yeah. All right. So that's the event. Unless there are any other comments about the event, I'll table it. One other thought I was having, I don't know if we can do something like this, but it'd be great to be able to take some more of these meeting notes as we're going through our community calls, so we do have a record of it. I don't know if anyone wants to volunteer to, or maybe we can take turns volunteering to take meeting notes of our events here, so that we can just distill it, as opposed to forcing people to have to sit through an hour of people just kind of going back and forth. So I'd like to to see if anyone today wants to volunteer to take some meeting notes. It would be nice. But I think ultimately we should all take a turn doing it, just so that it helps other folks kind of get up to speed who can't make it.
Yeah,
Anyone?
I volunteer. I can do it.
I can do it. All right, there you go. Thank you, Marius. I think you're on mute, Tony. I think you're talking, but we don't hear you. You're on mute.
I was saying it's a good thing my pen and paper were off camera. You didn't see me trying to get it organized. So thanks, Marius. I appreciate that. You kind of waited just one more second.
Sure. All right, so let's table that event now. And as always, I think I think we're all very open here, right? So, Tony has brought up his event to the group. So whatever it interests you, let us know and take part in organizing the next events, right? The next projects that we can spotlight. So it's really community driven here. So we're not going to be like myself and whoever else wants to be the contributors. We don't have to be the only people picking these events. If there's a protocol that you like, that's interesting to you, or there's a topic like yield farming or whatever it may be, collecting NFTs or whatever it is, gaming, then put it out there and let's see if we can get it on the calendar. Okay, so let's talk about the next thing now. Let's keep going through the agenda. Review the event calendar. So we've got 3 events, well, potentially 3 events coming onto the calendar. I'm counting Tony's as one of them, his own event. We'll talk more about that. So let's do it in order. So the next event is next week. So Thursday the 5th. We've got the Radix event, online event, not the in-person one, but the online one. So Tony's one of the speakers. We got another guy from Montreal. I don't know his real name, Tony. I don't know his real name. So
I think it's Mick. It goes by Mick, but Bonafide is his online, character. Radish is the environment or the group or the project. But it's pretty cool, actually. It was only after we engaged with you to say, hey, we can do something local, and I put it out on the Radix community, and then found them. I didn't even realize they were here. So they're building on Radix, which is cool.
Yeah, he's actually pretty active on Twitter.
So we're going to have a local project. Yeah. And we're also going to have the CMO going to jump in from New York.
Exactly.
Towards the end. So it's pretty cool.
Follow that guy Bonafide on Twitter because he followed me and I followed him back. He's actually pretty active on Twitter too. So
more so than I am.
yeah. He's got quite the NFT focus. Quite the interesting project going on there. So I'm sure we'll hear more about the building experience on Radix next week. But that's the plan. So next week is Thursday at 6:00. The agenda is, I'll do the typical kickoff, and then the Radix presentations will start around 7:00. Tony, is that what we're saying?
Yeah, I think we said 6:45. We'll get cracking and then take it through. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then so that's that event. That's all set up, ready to go. We're probably going to use Ring Central because I don't think we want to introduce any more risks unless we want to try something else. But I think it's probably smart to stick with this one because it's working well so far. And then we just got to drive more attendance. So let's keep. I'll put out the tweet again, folks, for the event. But let's try to get some good numbers to this one. So anything you guys can do to push it out to your social media channels or let other people know. Let's fill those. Let's touch those channels and see if we can get a good turnout for the Radix event.
Yeah, we're pushing it in the Radix community too, and picking up a number of local people, which is great. That's all about growing the community, so it's good for everyone. It's a win-win.
Yeah, exactly, and it should be good information as well. So looking forward to that one. And then the meet afterwards is we're trying to do our first in real life event, and we did the quick poll, and it was again Plaxicus's idea to put the poll up there. So I think we got the winner was the 10th, right? The 10th of May. Is that the date?
I think it's the 10th of Tuesday, right?
Yeah, Tuesday. Yeah. That gives us a couple weeks to get actually less than that even. Man, things are going pretty fast. I think it should be pretty easy to get that at least 10, 15 people there. So for our first event, I think it's going to be a casual event. We don't have to make put any pressure on ourselves to make it a sponsored event and that kind of stuff. I think probably best if we set up an in-person event. Let's make it a casual one. We'll get a chance to meet everyone in the community for the first time, or some of us anyways, for the first time in person. So we'll get a chance to just to hang out, drink some beers, and eat some chicken wings or whatever people do at the we do at Casual Spa, watch games on the big TV. And just talk shop. So I think that'll just be a casual event, but I think we can get at least 10, 15 people And I think what I'm going to do is just set up that reservation now. So I think unless anyone else has any other ideas, why don't we just lock that date in, put it on the calendar, and begin to to get some folks put on the calendar and begin to open up the RSVP list.
Perfect. Can't wait, man.
Yeah. All you guys can make it?
Yeah,
No,
for
I
sure.
said
I want to be
I
here.
can't. Yeah, of course.
Cool.
Can't
Naga,
wait.
can you make it? I don't know if Naga's there or not. He said he was going to be here 100%. He said he was going to be here 110% and ready.
Yeah, I'm here.
Where's your
Good.
hoodie today?
Sorry?
You're not wearing your hoodie. Your crypto
Oh,
hoodie.
well, you can't see my cam, so how do you know?
I'm just I'm giving you a hard time. So I think let's give me at least 5 of us. So that's everyone in this call already, and so that's going to be an easy one. But I think easily we can get the 10 to 15. Now, question is, like, what's the reservation size we should make? Should we try to reserve like a 15 table kind of thing, and then we can always do an overflow, right? In case we get more than that, should we put a cap on the wait list, on the RSVP list? That can be like a 20. I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts? I always find that when you open these things up and they're free, people just RSVP and they never show, right? So I don't know should we just make it open? Just assume that half people are going to drop off, and just make it like a 30 person, max.
And what about if we charge $5, just some minor amount, and then by this, kind of increasing the odds that people actually turn up? I don't know. What do you guys think?
Mario, you seem to be laughing in the car. I don't know if your audio's on or not.
I don't know if he's able to talk or not.
I mean, yeah. So I can talk, no problem. Hopefully it's background noise is not too bad. But yeah, I don't think charging a cover is probably the best thing for the first outing, especially we've never met IRL before, and it's like, yeah, we got to charge a cover, and then no one's gonna show up. That's like scam 101,
Yeah.
So I think the first one is definitely like we all show up. Even if I think it's better to under reserve than over reserve, because if we under reserve, we just break off into smaller groups anyway. And I don't think that's a problem. I highly doubt we're gonna under reserve, because, like Houston said, most of the time, 20 people say they show up, and then you hope that at least 10 do, or at least 10, 15 do. And depending on the type of the event, and depending how shy people are, especially the first event, it's probably gonna be a lot less. Once there's a core group of people that we've met, and then we create like a little nucleus, then people will start adding in, and then it'll be a lot easier. But usually these first events are very let's be very flexible, let's be very open, let's be very no expectation. Just
Yes, it'll build FOMO for the next event when we talk about how good a time it was, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. You're right.
And at the same time, let's we just it'll be casual, and then ultimately we can build towards having a future event be a sponsored event. So this one here will be more casual, and we can just kick around, just get the lay of the land, and then ultimately I think we build towards getting a sponsored event from folks like Shake Pay and other ones that are coming out of the woodworks, because there's lots of sponsors out there nowadays. So so let's do that. Let's so under reserve, I guess go for book for 15 or something like that. Is that the consensus? 10? Book for 10? Okay, 10. Yeah, 10, 15. We'll see that. Yeah, I'll connect with Casual Spa and see what kind of tables they have. I know they have that one. I did one meetup there last couple years ago, right before the pandemic. So literally week before the pandemic, we did a meetup there. So that's probably the final one. And it was a good space. They gave us a really big space. We had we had 50 people there. So it was a pretty good event. And they let us have a pretty good space, and so it was pretty cool. So yeah, I'll take care of that, and then let's just direct that'll be fun. I think it should be no problem getting people to show up for that one. It's casual. There's no commitment, right? So it's pretty easy. All right. So the last event is Tony's event. So Tony, why don't you tell us about the date of the event, and what can we do to support you for your event? That's also in person.
Just bring people and point them to reserve and sign on. We're supplying food and drinks, beers, wings, pizza. It's Radix on May 17th. So I think that's also a Tuesday night. Is that right? Yeah, it's a Tuesday night. We've got it as a Sanka set, but I think I've reserved for a bit later as well. So if people come in a bit, 5 o'clock might be tight for people to get out there. We picked a venue out in Point Claire this time around. I think next time we'll be more central. So I don't know if Point Claire's a hall for you guys. I know a couple of devs that I've been talking to. I've been sort of pulling in developers as much as I can. A couple of them are like South Shore, so that's a little bit of a haul for them. But they're also invited to come to you guys' event when we present on the 5th. But on this 17th, we're basically going to go over what is Radix and give you a good overview as to what the developments are, where they've come from, and share some food and drink and network. That's what it's about, pulling different people together. Yeah,
and who do you got coming from Radix to that event? You got anyone from Radix?
At this point, it's going to be me. I don't know that Jeremy's going to make it up from New York because he's going to be between Helsinki and Tel Aviv this month. So it might be just myself in terms of Radix presenting, but maybe we can get somebody online remotely. Doesn't matter. I've done a deep enough dive that I'm engaging with university researchers at this point. So in the AI world. So I'm very comfortable on a technical side, but I don't want to get too deep in the technical either. I just want to, it's an overview and it's a first sort of exposure to what Radix is. So we'll talk everything from a little bit about tokenomics right through to why is it different than the typical blockchain and what they're doing differently in terms of their DeFi engine, which is really cool. It's like what the game engine did for gaming is what they're doing for DeFi. So they're making development a whole different thing. So anyway, we'll save it for Tuesday and then again on the May 17th. But we'd love if you guys could all come out, support us, and point as many people as you can to our meeting. It's up on Meetup as well.
Yeah, that's what we'll do. So after our event next week, we'll make sure that we do the call out, the shout out to your event the following week, or on 17th, so that the folks will, hey, if you want the in-person feel, if you want the in-person, real touch kind of thing, you can go to Tony's event and get some free food and some free drinks. I might go, Tony, but I'm the early. I probably if I make it out, it have to be later because I can't make it out by 5.
Like I said, we got the room for quite a bit. It's a capacity. The room's got a capacity of 40 people. If we find out, a couple of days before that we're only got 20, 30 reservations. They've got a smaller 20 people room that we can move it to. But it's great. It's nice. Good setup, and like I say, free beer and some wings and pizza or whatever. And
well, how's the sponsorships like with Radix? So they pretty generous with their wallet. Yeah,
actually, this is being the first event, and this is going to be regular. We're going to try and do quarterly meetups in Montreal with Radix. So. For the first one, I wanted to sort of be as conservative as I can because I wasn't sure what kind of what we could pull together in a short term. This is a big time for Radix. Like the you guys in person on the 10th, which I'm going to be there. I think that's also a little bit alpha for you. That's also the day that Radix goes on Brave. So they're going to be a huge ad campaign on Brave. So they haven't been doing much marketing up until recently. This is because they've been building. So we're going to see a lot more. And so from a sponsorship perspective, we're going to see more of it. I think we're really trying to target developers a lot because we want to get them into the new Scripto language that Radix has built, which is really easy, and get projects built on Scripto for our mainnet launch for dApps, which will be at the end of the year. So
cool.
That's it in a nutshell. So hope you guys can all be there as well. And that's the first event in Montreal. I have a funny. I shared this. If I can share a screen, is that all right? Houston?
Go for it.
We'll test the screen sharing. I was commenting in the community that it would appear that. Okay, is that screen sharing? Can you see the ring?
Yes, sir.
So coincides with Radix is built on this shard space, which is it's a ring of a huge shard space called 2 to the 256 shards, whatever the technical side. But we joke about being a big ring is the base layer of Radix as opposed to a blockchain, And lo and behold, we got this great ring that's going up in Montreal in honor of Radix. Isn't that great? So
And I've been downtown for a while. I didn't see that yet. Is that real?
it's not up yet. It's going to be up in. I think it's going to be in June, but
Okay.
it's massive. It's a huge stainless steel ring. That's class Bill Murray, right? So yeah, that's going to be a new. Anyway, I just thought I'd show that as a bit of a joke.
Yeah, that's pretty neat looking.
Hey, Tony, what did you say? What time is it going to start on the 17th?
Well, we've got it listed as a 5 set, but it'll go later. So if you can get out there for 6 or whatever, or in through the evening. I mean, I'm sure they're not going to kick us out if we're drinking and having a good time.
And maybe just a second remark. I can't wait to attend all 3 of these events. The only how am I going to put this? The only challenge, I see is 3 events within 3 weeks, all of them on a Tuesday. What do you guys think?
We got a Thursday and 2 Tuesdays, but you're right. They are kind of back to back.
Yeah. I think you've got an in-person. You've got an in-person on Tuesday, the 10th. The 5th is a Thursday, but that's an online event, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, I mixed that up. Yeah.
So you've got 2 weeks in a row of in-person events. I mean, you've got the Tuesday in person with the DAO, and then the Tuesday in person with Radix. So
yeah, and I think in the future, I think we can definitely do a better job by planning these events for the route. The way I'm thinking of the one on the Thursday though, like the May 10th event, or sorry, the Tuesday, the 10th event, is it's going to be a casual event. So there's going to be it's not thematic at all, right? So I think it's just going to be a casual hangout kind of thing. So
get to know each other and share some drinks.
Exactly. So I think it's a little bit different. But yeah, I know what you're saying. I think we could probably do a better job at making sure we're spacing out these things. That's good. We'll definitely take that feedback. I'll take that feedback. So I was just curious, Tony, but so you already shared that. So thanks, guys. I was just wondering, what the pockets were like with sponsorships, because I reached out to ShakePay after Lev had pointed out their online tweet about sponsoring local media in-person events, and they gave some pretty good information, right? Like they're pretty generous. Like they said I was DMing them, and they're like, they'll help to cover food and drinks, they'll send some ShakePay merch, and because we're local, they'll even send some ShakePay staff to help orange pill people if that's necessary. so
that's great. That's great.
So they're pretty. It sounds like a pretty generous offer. So it'll be we're moving forward as the community gets bigger. I think it'll just be easier to attract sponsors, and the job of the leadership team, the contributors of the DAO, is to make sure that we're vetting these projects, and then we're not just inviting shills, right? We don't just sponsor some scam coin thing that's offering us money to buy us off. So that'll be our job to make sure that we're staying within our integrity and carrying ourselves appropriately. Yep. Okay, so thank you for that. I think so. That takes us to the next thing. So we're finished talking about our events. So that's enough for the event calendar. Anyone else? Any comments on the event calendar or events before I table that? Hello, Adina. Thanks for joining. Saw you sneak in there.
I have a question for the event calendar.
Yes, sir.
Where's the source of truth? Is it in Notion or is it on Discord?
Yeah, that's a good question. Where is the source of truth? That's a deep question, isn't it? Where is the source of truth?
So like what I mean is, do we just track all the events on Discord and we tell people look at Discord, or do we put everything on Notion and then a link to Notion? Because it'll be a pain to maintain multiple calendars, especially if you have multiple people doing it. We should kind of decide where we want our events to go and just stick to that somehow.
Agreed. Because right now, we're listing the events on multiple places, right? So what I would do so far is I'd be using Notion as a planning calendar. But I don't know how many people are actually checking that. So to be honest with you, I feel like I'm the only person looking at that. So I actually stopped posting it there because I think I was the only person who was actually looking at that. So in fact, right now it's not posted anywhere except for Discord, as well as meetup.com. So meetup.com is obviously, the final step in terms of trying to get some eyeballs on the event. But I agree, as we get more people touching these events and trying to plan things, I think we should agree to a source, to a source of truth, kind of like what you mentioned. And also, we also have a website called on Luma, lu.ma, which I don't think many people are using anymore. So I haven't been posting to that thing. But there was a calendar there as well that I was trying to maintain, but it was just becoming too many places, too many touch points. So I'm definitely down for deciding as a group. Okay, if we want to look at the calendar, the event list, well, where do we go? All right, like what's the source of truth and where do we go for that? And open to whatever platform you guys want to decide on. Right now, yeah, I think Notion makes the most sense because it's internal for the most part, right? It's kind of edit only for folks who have given rights.
Well, where do you see, if I can jump in, Houston, where do you see the most activity or the most, like, for example, I haven't been going to the Notion. I've been certainly going to the Discord. That's where the poll went up for the choice of venue or the choice of day, rather. For personally, Discord would be great, but I don't want to speak for everybody. I mean, if you guys are all somewhere else, then I'll go there or whatever.
Yeah, because I've been using Discord just to publish the events, right? But not for the planning of the events. The planning of events have been in my head right now, so in the past month or so. So that's where they reside, is in my head. But as we get more people interested in helping with events and actually thinking about speakers they want to connect to or projects they want to connect to. Yeah, I think we should have that third-party repository.
I assume that there's a link on the meetup to the Discord.
Yes. Yeah. First link. Cool. The first link in our about page, our homepage goes right to is the Discord.
Yeah. It's almost like we should direct as much traffic as possible to Discord, maybe, and like we can have the Notion as like a documentation thing. I think there's an integration between Notion and Discord. I'd have to double check. But yeah, like planning stuff, we could plan stuff in like the DAO chat, use threads and do all that kind of stuff, and then create the event in Discord. And then after we create the event in Discord, then we just like, okay, cool, now it's created in Discord, let's create the meetup as well and connect it and do that kind of stuff. But it's like we start everything in Discord because I personally use Discord every single day for like many different things, work and non-work related. So I'm very biased in this. But yeah, like I like the interaction and the activity in Discord is more, people can ask like FAQs, they can go different channels. Like it's a lot easier to handle that than it is to handle like a meetup thread or like any
100%.
Yeah, and then you can plan on Discord, and then in the other end you can promote on Discord with announcements, pointing to the meetup to RSVP or whatever, So it's a good, and I'm like you as well. I'm on Discord daily for the Radix, as well as Telegram, as well as LinkedIn, as well as Meetup. It's like oh man, so many platforms to check in. But I think Discord would work well as a central command if
So what are you saying? You think we should, like, obviously we plan it on Discord, but you're thinking we should actually post the events on Discord first in the events section, and so that becomes the events list? Is that what we're saying? As opposed to using Notion as the planning board, so to speak, for events, like where they actually can if I want to see, okay, what's the next 2 months of events? Where would I go? Where would I go see that? On Discord?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, I think if you've got an events tab, or I'm not sure if every server is set up the same way, but if you've got an events section or an announcement section, then people can go and see what's the next event or whatever.
Yeah. Is there some sort of calendar view in Discord where you can see, okay, 2 months out, and like, okay, here's all the planned events for the group?
Good question. I don't know.
Yeah. Not that we've planned that far ahead, but just just curious.
This is crypto. That's a month is a year. Come on.
Yeah, I know. It's like 2 years away, dude. Just curious. But yeah, I don't disagree with anything. I think Discord's probably is the way to go. It's the more native way to go. Yeah.
So I put down the Discord in the protocol.
Say again, Marks? Discord what?
So I'm gonna, I'm taking notes. So I put down Discord for future events, and then also that will be published on Meetup. Did I get that correct?
Yeah, that's right. I think we decided that all the planning will happen on Discord, and the event goes first on Discord. We'll publish it in the events section on Discord, and then you can publish to their other platforms.
I'm also, as we have these like AMAs and stuff, and like we meet up as like a DAO and like this kind of stuff. I upgraded the Discord to be level 1, so I boosted the Discord so that we now have access to high quality like video chat. So we can use the stage in Discord to have like calls and like different things for video calls instead of using this as well.
Yeah. Does Discord have recording though? That's the thing. I don't think you can actually record the calls.
It doesn't have recording. No, it doesn't.
Yeah, so that's why. Otherwise, I'd love it because it'd be one place to go.
Personally, if I want to record a meeting, I use Google Meet. But I'm throwing another tool, and we have too many tools.
Yeah, I don't mind Google Meet either. If someone has like a Google Meet with the permissions to actually record, then I wouldn't mind using Google Meet. But right now, I don't think anyone that we've has provided or volunteered a Google Meet that has a recording option. So that's why we're testing all these different platforms.
Yeah, I have that in Google Meet. I have a premium Google Meet thing that I can probably use. But we'll talk about that like afterwards. Like I'll have to double check and different things. But yeah, I'm definitely open to that.
Cool. Yeah, because Google Meet seems to be the most popular of all the platforms right now, along with Zoom. But so I think that would simplify things. Okay, cool. So that's something we can take offline, but we'll keep. We'll try to find the best web platform for meetings and stick with that one. Okay. One other thing, just to wrap up with this conversation around the calendar and where to host the events. I think it goes back to like the bigger vision that we talked about this. We've talked about this a couple times already, but I think it's important to bear it out. Is ultimately like what I've been trying to get to is, we're all in the same opinion, like same vision. Is that Meetup.com? This is my opinion right now. I hope you guys are in the same belief. Meetup.com is just a platform for us to try to amplify the voice of our community, but we're not a Meetup.com community. Right, so I think it's important that we don't call ourselves a Meetup.com community. So that's Web 2.0 thing, right? And so that's like an old school thing where this is not what this is. This is, and ultimately it's just like we can leverage Meetup.com, we can leverage Facebook for to amplify our signal and our social channels, but we're not a community on those platforms, right? So I think it's important to differentiate that we're a DAO structure. And that means we're not a Meetup.com community or a Facebook community, even though we can, leverage those channels for our voice.
Good to point out. Yeah, no. To me, it's always been DeFi Montreal first, but I guess that should be Montreal DAO. Transition into that, right? Yeah.
So we're slowly transitioning. That's the goal. A slow transition towards decentralization, which I think is a good goal.
Oh, and another little aside, and this speaks to promoting the next event, which is the online on the 5th, is Jeremy, the CMO of Radix, said to ask Houston, bring all your TradFi guys too, because the goal is to swallow TradFi, so they might be interested in that.
Okay, there we go. So we can use that angle to encourage more people to show. Why did he say that? Because he thinks that like there's different like the DeFi that can be done on XRD or Radix is different than the DeFi we see now, or it's more akin to what TradFi people would know. What is? Why do you think he says that?
It gets and again, I don't want to spoil too much for the next meeting and make it sound like shilling, but just from a perspective of the platform or the structure, it's built to swallow the globe of DeFi. Like most blockchains can't handle that kind of capacity of transactions, and we know that, and they're running into that problem. Radix isn't launched fully yet, but they've been working 8 years in building this for the right reason, for the end goal of swallowing TradFi. So it's scalable at a whole different level, and the tools used to build on it are going to be that much easier. So we'll talk about the detail, but the goal is the traditional finance is going to end up on some decentralized platform, and Radix, of course, that's their goal. So.
Cool. All right, I like that message.
Out of curiosity,
decentralization. Sorry, go ahead, man.
Out of curiosity, what language do they write their blockchain in?
They're developing a language called Scripto, but it's based on Rust, and it's different than than your typical blockchain. Like for example, what's it called on Ethereum?
EVM.
Sorry, I'm having a brain fart here.
Solidity?
What? Yeah, Solidity. Thanks. Yeah, the EVM on Ethereum or Solidity. So Solidity, that's all about contracts and balances, but Radix is different. They've created an asset-based language. So you're literally passing tokens as opposed to updating balances and contracts. So the Radix engine treats tokens as a number one asset on platform. So you create the token and you can't move that token into a vault that it doesn't belong into. So you can't scam, you can't fool contracts like you can with EVM and Solidity type design. So it's a different beast, and they've taken a long time to build it. But now we're at the point where we've got developers able to play with crypto on a test net. Anyway, again, too much spoiler.
Cool.
You're gonna get pretty gold. We're gonna. Cool.
You can call me after if you want to talk about it in more detail. Put it that way.
Right. So, last thing to talk about, and then we can wrap things up. We're going to be right on time. Is myself and Classicus just jumped on a call with Project Galaxy right before this call, and I think I posted it in the DAO chat room and on Discord that funny, I had just been thinking about today, like POAPs, proof of attendance protocols, for our events. So I've been thinking of ways to make it more fun to be early members of our DAO, of our community. And POAPs are very popular. The things I've been trying to give out every single meetup. The last one obviously failed because I tried to set up a POAP for our last event. So that last event had tons of technical difficulties. I'm thinking about it now. But yeah, I tried to get a POAP set up. The POAP team ended up taking too long. I had it set up, but then right before, anyways, I don't want to bore you guys, but yeah, they initially, in the end, they could not deliver it to me. So there's kind of a long turnaround time to set up POAPs right now. And I guess they're very busy. So I've been seeing other communities, other protocols using these things called OATs, OATSs, or OAT, OAT, S is the plural. What does OAT stand for? I can't even remember what OAT stands for. Every time I think about it, I forget. It's like something.
Everything's an acronym, man. It's just.
Yeah, so what does OAT stand for? Official something attendance token or something like that. It's something like that. Official
attendance token. That sounds right.
Yeah. I'll stick with that for now. Official attendance token. That sounds pretty good. So that's kind of what it's kind of what it's a competitor to POAP. POAP stands for Proof of Attendance Protocol. OAT is official attendance token. So kind of like a token, but basically this token sits. The only thing different between a POAP and an OAT is that an OAT actually sits on. You can sit right now either on. Well, the BizDev person told me it sits either on Polygon or BNB in your wallet. So literally, that means it can sit. You can list this thing on OpenSea or as a or not, maybe not OpenSea because it is a. She didn't tell me if it was an NFT or not. I think it's just a token, so it probably cannot be listed on OpenSea. But anyways, any kind of it is an ERC token, and you can look at it right on your wallet. That means it will appear through any kind of wallet apps like Zapper or DBank and the rest of them, where you can actually look at your wallet and you can actually see what you can see all the tokens or NFTs in your wallet that will show up there. So we can begin to do some fun things with these, whether we use POAPs or OATs. The fun thing is that we can begin to do some fun things with that, right? So one idea I had was, well, why don't we begin to confer a bit of status, some badges to folks who are early to this community. So anyone who's claimed a POAP or an OAT, let's say in the first 10 meetups, gets a role, right, on Discord. It could be like, I'm calling it like an OG role. We can call that whatever we want, but, some sort of, kind of an early adopter or some sort of OG role. So that when people come in, they're like, okay, when you look at Discord, you have the moderators on top. You could have an OG role the next, right? And then, you see everyone else. So folks who've, claimed, I don't know, maybe it's one or more POAPs or whatever it may be, or the first 10 POAPs, the first 10 events, they get that OG role. And, just begins to show that, hey, these folks have been around a bit. And when they talk in the room, they're not just talking shit. They've been around the community for at least a little while, right? It's not just some random person who just shows up and starts, spewing stuff. So, confers a bit of a bit of more status to those folks who want that. So, that's a fun little thing we can do. And it's very simple to do, either using Discord tools like Collabland and there's one called guild.xyz. There's a bunch that we can begin to, to create separate channels or roles based upon the tokens that are held inside a wallet. So we're going to test out Oats for our next meetup here on the 5th. And the way it's going to work is, I'm working with the team now, or just starting to work with them now. I'm going to send them over our badge for our image for the token. She will mint it on chain, and then all we got to do is during our call, I'm going to collect everyone's wallet addresses. So I'll basically be whitelisting them, and then so I'll collect everyone's addresses, and then at the end of the next day, we'll send out the Oats to everyone, and then people can claim it. And all they got to do is go to a website and type in their wallet address, and they'll show up in their wallet. So very easy to do, and I think it's actually yeah.
It's an ERC token. Is that?
Yeah, exactly. And right now it's all gasless, so no fees.
Yes, I'm really sorry. I just got kicked out for about 3 minutes, so of course for the 3 minutes I wasn't able to take notes. The last thing I heard was we are changing the POAPs for the Oats, and then kind of got cut off. So maybe just in 2 sentences, what did I miss? What I need to write down? I
was dropping knowledge bombs there. I don't know if I can repeat that again. It was just so much dense stuff that I just talked about at that time.
Sorry, Houston. Sorry.
I trained world hunger in those 3 minutes you were gone. I fixed the whole thing around world hunger and everything. Jesus.
World peace.
At
Peace. Yeah, that's the next 3 minutes. I'm on a roll.
At least you're not playing that he left the room, let's talk about him card here.
So I guess we'll summarize. So we're gonna basically try Oats for the next meetup. So I'm working now with the Oats team or the Project Galaxy team to spring up to mint an Oat for us, so that we can share with the attendees of next week's meetup or event. So basically how it'll work is during the call, during next week's event, I will ask for people's wallet addresses at the end, or maybe somewhere mid-call. I will get people to, if they don't have a wallet address, I'll get them to spring one up. Again, people, if they're worried about security, they can always set up a new wallet as well, right? So I will give them that choice. Either give me an existing wallet address, or if you're worried about confidentiality and security, then set up a new wallet. And the neat thing is that these are tokens, right? So you can just pass them around wallets too, right? So ultimately, you can think of it like maybe you get this. So the whole point was, once this person gets an Oat, let's say they get like I was thinking about ways to confer maybe a certain degree of membership to the community. So let's say if you're an owner of one of the first 5 POAPs or the first 5 or 10 Oats, right? You get a special role inside Discord, like an OG role or some sort of senior role to show that you've been around the block for a while. And the nice thing with that is that these things are actually tradable, right? So maybe ultimately we do have some gated rooms, and someone could actually trade that, right? And say, hey, I want to trade this Oat to someone else, and then that will give them privilege to get into these rooms. That's what people are doing now. That's why there's a third party, well, not third party, but there's an aftermarket in POAPs right now, because some of these POAPs are being used to gatekeep certain channels on Discord and other communities. And people are trading these things so that they can get access to these communities, such as, hot NFT drops. Sometimes they're only given to folks who are part of these communities. And in order to get into some of these Discord rooms, you have to own some of these POAPs to get in there. So that's why some of this stuff is being transacted or, traded back and forth, in the aftermarket. So saying, this Oath is just a fun way. The POAPs are a fun way to reward, well, not reward, but, confer a bit of benefits, a bit of membership to the early adopters. And I think, but, as the community grows, I think we can think of a lot of fun ways to use these things. And, I think what we got to do is not take ourselves too seriously, try to make things fun and, find, innovative ways to use this technology to have a bit of fun and bring a bit of lightness to what we're doing.
Just to confirm, Houston, is the Oat token, is that on Project Galaxy? Is that the same thing?
Yeah, Project Galaxy.
So so on-chain achievement token is what the acronym is.
Okay, I was way off. On-chain achievement token. I got to write that one down. On-chain. And a bit of alpha. We were talking to Anne from the team, and they're saying they're dropping a token this week, right? So they said, is it they dropping this week? Or they dropped it already? On-chain achievement token.
I just looked it up now, so I'm gonna go check it out and see what see what's about.
Yeah, they're dropping their own token. I think she said it dropped already, or it's coming up very, very soon. But the token name is GAL. So that sounds like they got some good partnerships on that project. And
dropping some alpha in the Montreal DAO chat. You heard it.
that's it, man. Drop us some alpha. Like, go buy that token now. But if you get wrecked, it's not me. It's your fault.
Yeah. I think she said it was listing on Binance Smart Chain next week or sometime. It's not there yet, but it was going to be listed very soon.
There we go. So you get that.
Is this where you say this is not financial advice, right?
This is definitely not financial advice. Yeah. ICOs are, whatever they are.
I don't know. Adidas said I could say this without any repercussion. Adidas like, hey, you're good. You're retail. You can say whatever you want.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, check it out next week. See if it explodes to the downside. So I think that's all I have. So that's the old thing, and that gets us right to next week's event. So yeah, I think that's everything we need to do until next week. So yeah, maybe I'll follow up with you, Classicus, if you want to talk about using Google Meet for that. It's time to change it now. Otherwise, we already have something set up, but no problem changing that if we have another platform we can use. Cool. All right, friends. Well, look, so we got 7 minutes left. Yeah. So, open floor here. If anyone wants to bring anything else to the meeting, the floor is yours.
I was curious. From my understanding of Oats, isn't just Oats POAPs, but on a really cheap chain, and they pay for the gas fees? Isn't that it?
It's on Polygon. Is it on Polygon or?
It's on Polygon and Binance Smart Chain. And when we asked, like, are you guys gonna go on other chains? They mentioned like Atom, but like they're not gonna go on like.
She said AVAX.
Well, did she say AVAX? I thought she said Atom because AVAX.
I think she said AVAX. I know right now the AVAX fees are high. Yeah.
Like they're high. They're not like mainnet high, but like they're you can't spend $5,000 and acquire 5 million users, right? Like like you're gonna be wrecked by gas fees. So I'm a little skeptical. Like I want to do more research on Oats. I really hope they have a white paper or something that I can read through. But yeah, like it's cool because you get to just connect your wallet and then you get to claim a bunch of stuff without needing to have like Matic or BNB in your wallet. Which at this point, like switching EVM chains is just adding a config to MetaMask. Like, once you get used to it, it's good. But yeah, so I'm curious if they're actually novel or if they're just wrapping a new version of POAP, and because it's free, they're like finding it really cool. But yeah, we'll see. Also on the whole Discord role gating thing, I know that there's a big problem in like Collabland and in Guild XYZ about so if you make a role based on an NFT, right? And then I have that NFT and then I join a channel and then I give you the NFT. I still have access to the channel.
Right? You can't remove it. It's revoked you.
You have to retroactively keep looking back and like some people do it like at a 24-hour period. Other people do it like there's many ways of solving that problem, but it's not perfect. Right,
like, it's manual. It's not dynamic. Is what you're saying?
It's not perfectly dynamic. It's like we'll update every X period of time, whatever that is.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Just food
good to know.
But
good to know that little detail. Yeah, no, good to know that detail. Yeah, I'm on the fence with that old thing too. Like I was definitely, when they were pitching it, I was like, okay, they're doing a lot of biz dev. That's why it kind of freaks me out. Like wasn't freaked out, but they I connected with the team, and then all of a sudden I had like they said, oh, we're gonna set up a call with you, and then they're gonna have like 5 people join the call. I'm like on their end. I'm like, whoa, that's a lot of people to jump on a call for for
they're gonna gang up on you, man.
To set up it's like I used to work for SAP, so I know what it's like when we used to do customer meetings. We're selling $1 million software, so you go to these meetings and you meet a customer. It'd be like the customer had one guy in the room, and it'd be like 10 guys from SAP there. The customer's like, "Whoa, there's a lot of people in the room here. Like, what are you trying to do?" So it always freaks me out when it's like you're outnumbered by the by the other company, 5-1. So thank Classicus for joining because we outnumbered her at that time. So, but anyways, it's neither here nor there. I just thought it was a funny experience. But no, okay, so we'll try it out, and we're not committed just to sticking with oats. I think right now they're very friendly, and they're local. They have some local folks in here in Montreal, so I think it's nice to have that connection because that sounds like at least we can get things done in case we need to expedite things. 'Cause unlike POAP, I was trying to like escalate things and get things done by the event time, but no, there's no way. Those guys are so decentralized that there was no one to even there's no one to to poke. So at least with these folks here, you have a contact. You can say, hey, I need something done, and let's try to get it done. So, any other comments? But that was a good one. Any other comments?
No, that's good. That was good meetup. You've got something with your niece there, Houston. I don't want to keep you from that.
Yeah, she's doing a play of Robin Hood, so that'll be fun. Not sure what role she has, so this is a surprise. So we'll check it out.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
All
right,
you guys, anything? Sorry, go ahead, Marys.
No, I just said we finished right on time.
Right on time. It's unlike us. This is weird.
Well, it's Friday. The sun is shining.
Exactly.
Anything you wanted to jump in with? Is there anything you wanted to jump in with, Dana?
No.
You're muted. There's a button down in the bottom left.
Yeah.
There we go.
There you are.
There we go. Sorry, I was late. I was lifting my 500-pound piano, trying to put a rug underneath it. So I look a little red and patchy because it was a bit of distress. I'm all sweaty and hot. So
Just 500 pounds.
But you're a musician. That's pretty cool.
Well,
You
I'm
play?
trying.
Yeah, just 500 pounds.
I'm trying. So no, I support the the move to oats. That sounds good. I'll look it up, and I'm reading the white paper on Radix, Tony. I'm on section 4. I've read it 3 times, and I actually
congratulations to you. That's a heavy read.
It works. It works like a gumball machine. I got that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're going through the scripto. Okay.
And you get out your gumball. End of story. It's not complicated, very secure, unless some bully comes and knocks you over and takes your gumball while you're trying to reach for it. But hey, I look forward to more Radix meetings. I'm really looking forward to that one. And thank you so much, Houston, for setting this up one more time. Finding another communications device. Jeez, you got to be busy. Hey.
Yeah, well, we keep trying stuff until something sticks. So let's wrap it up because I have to run. So thanks everyone for showing up again. And as always, let's keep it going on Discord. We keep making good progress here. So yeah, just keep participating and keep coming up with other ideas. Next month's event, we'll start thinking about May's already full already. So let's start thinking about June and who we want to talk to and spotlight in June.
Cool.
Sounds like a plan.
Amazing.
Good.
Amazing, guys.
Thanks,
All
guys.
right. Take care.
Guys.
Enjoy. Bye, folks.
Yeah.
Bye.
See ya.
Have a great weekend. Bye.
You too. See ya.